When we started the Claire Smith Center for Sports Media, we knew a big focus was going to be on breaking down the barriers for women and people of color in this business. And as we know, these sports media industry is dominated by white males and has been for years. Claire Smith was an incredible pioneer of sports journalism and was the first woman of color in locker rooms in Major League Baseball. And it happened to be 40 years ago this year that she was unceremoniously booted out of a locker room during the National League playoffs. And as a result of that, Major League Baseball declared for the first time that women would have access to locker rooms. Credentialed reporters would have access to locker rooms regardless of their gender. So given that, it seemed like a perfect time for us to create this symposium, which we're calling the Claire Smith Symposium for Women and Sports Media. And we will bring together some of the pioneers of sports media who served right along with Claire, along with students and people who are working in the business now, to talk about what's changed in those 40 years since and what hasn't changed and what needs to happen moving forward.
The focus of the center is very close to my heart, and that's assuring that everyone who has this interest, has this journalism itch, if you will, has the ability to pursue a dream. It's good to revisit the history. It's also good to visit the progress from 1984 to 2024. I was probably at a crossroads in 1984. My peers supported me. I could feel the swell of anger building up, but it was important for someone on the other side of the notebook to basically say, you belong here. And if Steve Garvey didn't come out of the Padres clubhouse and basically say, I'll stay here as long as you need, but remember you have a job to do. You know, you can take the off-ramp or you can do what the person you're covering just suggested you do, and that's go do your darn job.
Once we kind of learned and started befriending one another, then I got to know more about who she was. A woman of color who's just been through all that she's been through and how she's so still like loving and not jaded. The relationships that she's built resonated with me.
I mean, in those days, women weren't allowed in the clubhouse, and women weren't really considered experts on sports. You know, she was more of a storyteller than she was kind of a sports writer. She was about truth.
What makes a sport are the players or the managers and the stories behind them.
The media has a job to do. You know, it's not about clickbait. It's about the core, the rudimentary part of the game. That's why this is America's pastime.
She's the kind of person as a reporter you want to open up to because you trust her completely. And I think that's maybe somewhat rare. And I think that any reporter would want to be that one that everybody considers trustworthy.
In the sports world, obviously, it's the most diverse workplace in America. Yet, if you look at the sports journalism and sports media part of that world, it's overwhelmingly white, it's overwhelmingly male, and it doesn't reflect either the action and the players on the court or the field, and it certainly doesn't reflect the people who are consuming the media.
This campus reminds me of America at its best. It's in a city that was one of the original melting pots. Temple's role is to prepare as many students as it can and also make the opportunity to do what we do as available to everyone who wants to do it.
The Claire Smith Center for Sports Media. It's not just significant in the impact that it's going to have, it's significant in recognizing the contributions that she's made. And she is the perfect person to impact the next generation of people who want to be in this space.
We are going to be producing the Claire Smiths of the future, people who will go out of this school and will change the world in sports media. And to have her on our faculty and as the co-director of this program, it symbolizes everything that we're trying to achieve here at the Klein College. I could not be more proud to have her name on it.